Hi, this is Steve Scheer from Radio Entrepreneurs, sitting in for Jeffrey Davis, and we have a return guest today, Pete Cronan. He's done a lot of interesting things in his life, and we want to hear about he's transitioning now between a few things, and he's fantastic and interesting. And Pete, what's going on?
Well, good to see you, Steve.
Okay. Well, before you go further into your new opportunity, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you've got a very interesting background.
Well, grew up in Framingham, went to school at Boston College on a football scholarship. And this came out in this process. Why did I go to Boston College instead of Ohio State or Notre Dame or Syracuse, who were hot on my trail? I wanted to take the best academic opportunity available and used football as a way to maximize that opportunity. And Boston College presented that, probably, in my opinion, at the time, the best chance to do just that. No, I don't mean to disparage the quality of an education from Notre Dame or Syracuse or Ohio State, but I had a vision of eventually, once my athletic career was over, eventually settling in this area. I knew that the networking benefits, the athletic visibility would certainly benefit me in my transition. And the way it worked out is I ended up playing in the National Football League for 9 years, left the area for 9 years, and came back here. And I look back on the decision to go to Boston College as probably one of the most profound decisions I've ever made in terms of having impact on my life. I've made a lot of great decisions, a lot of not so great decisions, but I look at the ones that have had the biggest impact. Marrying my wife, certainly one of them. With the Boston College education, decision to go to Boston College was certainly high on that list in terms of the way I've lived my life.
Now, your experience as an NFL player, I'm sure that was a learning experience, like most things are in life.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you gain of being a football player?
Well, I think the thing that I try to communicate when I do public speaking is the lessons I learned as an athlete, as a competitive athlete, are applicable outside of the game. And when I was playing in Washington, for example, for Joe Gibbs, he had set up this very simple hierarchy of management hierarchy. And all of it is set your goal, establish expectations, reach consensus to those responsible to meet those expectations, provide resources necessary for success, measure frequently, and adjust as necessary. Very simple, applicable concept. I took that concept and applied it to my business world, my business experience, and had great success. I've been successful in everything I've ever done in business. And I can always use that simple model. And I went back to talk to Joe Gibbs several years after I got out of football, and I mentioned to him how invaluable this little model had been. And he says, well, I stole that from a business book. So he said, you stole it from a business book, applied it to a professional football team, and it worked. And I stole it from a professional football team and applied it to a business, and it worked. So the concept is pretty sound.
That's interesting. Took it from a business book.
Took it from a business book. And the critical piece there, you certainly set the right goals. What are you trying to accomplish? Set expectations. So you have a big goal. In his particular case, is go to the Super Bowl and win.
Right. Okay,
the expectations are you break it into small consumable bites. The old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right?
Yeah.
So I was served a plate of elephant meat, which was what I was expected to do to meet in concert with my team, to meet those expectations, exceed those expectations, which would feed the ultimate goal. Then there's the consensus piece, which is really that's the secret sauce.
Right.
Because once we reach consensus on those expectations became mine and no longer the coach's. And in business, it's the manager's expectations or the president of the company's expectations being presented to an employee. And when you reach consensus that the expectations feed the goal, the expectations are reasonable and attainable, and the employee or the player in this particular case accept those responsibilities as theirs, reaching consensus is the stickiness.
Right.
Now the individual owns them. Now you get resources. Now you measure frequently, and we adjust as necessary. Highly applicable, easy concept. And as I said, it's been whenever I had trouble managing a situation or a set of circumstances, we'd go back and look at the board. Are the goals correct? Are the expectations misaligned? Did you not buy in? Did you not reach consensus to the degree that you own these? And wherever you could find where the hole was But just by following that little hierarchy, and wherever the hole was, you go back and you just fix it. It's a process-driven solution.
If somebody wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
It's easy. It's my email address is very easy to remember.
Yeah.
It's pete.cronan@gmail, and it's Cronan. And I've got a website which explains a lot of the motivational speaking, auctioneering, mentoring things that I've been doing over the years, and it's just petecronan.com.